Hello everybody, good afternoon. My name is Kunal Wadhwani. I'm the CHRO for Choitram's group. Mr. Kinjal just spoke about the importance of an organization which has spent approximately 7 decades. I come from an organization which completed 8 decades this January. So we are 80 years old as of January 2024. And here I am talking about the future of organization behavior. Okay, it's such an amazing thing that something that I have been practicing for over 20 years. I have 20 minutes to try and explain the whole concept to you. We are all HR professionals. Most of us, I safely believe, we would have completed our masters, maybe PhDs, and we have seen various models, which cater to the requirements of organizational behavior in our organization. But let me give you an example over here. How many of you, with a raise of hands, have heard about the deep fake scam, which happened maybe last week? Right? Few of us. Allow me to just spend a minute on that particular thing. 25 million US dollars were stolen on a Zoom call, right, in a company where the finance manager was called on a Zoom call, one company in Hong Kong. The finance manager goes on a Zoom call and he sees the CEO is sitting on the call. There are other senior team members maybe working remotely, and the call happens and he is given an approval to transfer 25 million US dollars, and those 25 million dollars are stolen. It is impossible to believe that the finance manager is lying. He is saying that I saw the CEO on the call. The CEO was on the call. But what is the outcome? What are we going to do in the organization when something like this happens? Here we are talking about digitalization, Gen AI, and we have security issues already cropping up out of it. Is it safe to say that these kind of things that are happening in organizations today, or in the world for that matter, are associated to creating criminal concepts first, and then we try and adapt in the organizations, right, for maybe implementing a process? Very diversified thought process on these particular things. But how does it affect our organization? We are HR professionals. Amongst all the ugly things that are happening in the world, we are talking about what is the scope of HR today. Some people talk about HR strategy, some people talk about scorecards, some people talk about organizational culture, development of culture, the core value system. We emphasize the need of learning and development drastically in the organizations. We talk about the operating model, designing HR processes and operating model designs in the organization, digitalization, transformation, technology, people analytics and insight. But what are the real storms that are approaching us at this particular point in time? I gave you a classic example of deep fake scam, which is a concept associated to digitalization in today's time. Is technology bad? Absolutely no. Do we need it? Absolutely yes. But it is evolving. How much do we really need it? The Internet of Things is going to take over a lot of things. These kind of concepts are going to associate to skills transformation concept that is coming up right now. The second point is associated to the Gen Ys and Zs, the millennials and the Gen Zs which are coming up. A talent war is emerging and they are coming up big time. At this particular point in time, or maybe close towards the COVID period in 2020, approximately 52% of the workforce used to be the millennials and the Gen Zs. Come 2030, global average of millennials and the Gen Z workforce in the organization will be approximately 72%. The baby boomers will largely be out of the company. Gen X people like me and most of you who are sitting in this room will be occupying maybe leadership positions. But in that whole concept of talent war and talent shortage, are we really going to be seen as leaders by the younger generation that's coming up? That's a storm coming up. The new leadership methodology, the breed of young leaders, they don't want money and money only. They value learning. They value camaraderie in the organization. Are we ready for it? And finally, the concept of globalization, where we are trying to attract new models of management. These new models of management need to emerge. We are constantly talking about automation in the organization. We are constantly talking about transformation in the organization. But how ready we are? If I tell all of you that, all right, robots may not necessarily take away your jobs in future, but we need to develop our skills. Can we really say 100% people sitting in this zone right now, we are all going to make that change in our organization? Surprisingly, there were 2,000 CEOs globally. Okay, they went through a research interview by Economic Forum Summit. And out of 2000 CEOs, 90% of the CEOs genuinely believed that if they don't start making changes in their organization, within a decade, their organization will cease to exist. These are the challenges that we are dealing with. When we look at the organizational behavior contest and considering the fact that we are talking about the theme which is back to future, let me take you back to your MBA days. Can anybody tell me what you see on the screen over here? The answer is written over there, by the way. Johari window. Everybody is aware of Johari window? What I'm going to tell you is that what we see right now on screen is what we are aware of about Johari window. But what if I told you that Johari window in principle looks like this? How many people would agree Johari window looks like this? Raise of hands. Maybe one, partial one, right? Now, we only look at the base 4 quadrants of Johari window and that's what we move on. Can anybody tell me with a raise of hands if you have used Johari window in real concept for implementing an HR process in your organization? 1, 2, and I am already looking at maybe close to 250 people sitting in this room right now, and there are 2 people who have practically used Johari window. The essence of Johari window needs to be understood. It's a very classic old school management concept which if we use correctly, it's going to create wonders for your organization, wonders for your business. It is going to create a proposition where HR contributes to the return on investments in the organization and can directly be associated to the sales and cash profit that the organization earns. Here we are looking at 4 slots, the open slot, the blind spot, the hidden spot and the unknown spot. What is important to understand is in the self section, we as self, we are seeking information. When we talk about the concept which is known to others and unknown to others, we are sharing information to other people, okay, that are unknown to them. But in this particular case, 90% of the people in the world, and because we don't understand the real essence of Johari window, whether it is appraisal, whether it is an implementation, and the classic case where people complain that I did not get credit for what I did, somebody else took the cake away. 90% of the people in the world are busy doing self-disclosure. They are busy telling people what they are. What they forget is that I need feedback. When you start collecting feedback from people, okay, that's where the game changes. It's important that we listen to what people have to say. It's important that we create that camaraderie situation within the organization where we gain momentum by gaining insights about what's not right with us at this particular point in time. Now, the unknown spot is the most amazing spot where there is a shared view. The shared view consists of 2 primary things. One is others' observation of us, which we don't know, and this is also an area where we do self-discovery. The self-discovery concept and the behaviors that others project of us is a concept of shared views. In a nutshell, when we classically use Johari window in concepts of business, I primarily have used Johari window for talent acquisition concepts to be enhanced within my organization. I have used Johari window for enhancing the comp and ben perspective and understanding of comp and ben perspective with our employees for that matter. Now, what we generally should focus on, what are the total blind spots and the shared views concept in this particular thing. When we did little bit of analysis and research in our organization, we found that there are 4 primary blind spots that we look at. And by the way, although you see 4 points, let me tell you, there has been an extensive research in our organization when we did this exercise. There was a lot of objective discussions that happened across different operational processes. Different business leaders came into one particular room to discuss this concept. However, these 4 points may not necessarily be relevant to all. Different organizations work differently, they come from different genres, different industries for that matter, and your challenges could be different. When I look at my organization, okay, couple of years back when we did this analysis, we found that maybe we need a better strategic alignment in our organization. Maybe we say too much, but we don't take decisions on time. So we need to work on that particular element. We wanted to work on the cultural concept, and that's where the concept of our core values plays an important role. Our core values, popularly known as CLIMB, customer centricity, leadership, integrity, meritocracy, and being boundaryless. All these values play a very important role in our organization. We talk about personal growth, where we focus on an impending need for development, That development is associated to processes. This development is associated to people development as well within the organization. And finally, the misaligned talent practices which can define how human capital works in your organization needs to be focused on. I work for an organization which is a vintage organization in Choitrams, if I may say so. We are the first organization, we are rather the first supermarket to come into the UAE, and last year we were the first brick and mortar supermarket format which opened an all women managed store in the UAE for that matter. And this is the journey that we have carried on through, and this is the example that we are trying to set over there by creating parameters within the organization where we listen to people, where we gain feedback, we gain insight, and then we work upon those particular things. Out of all the 100 and 200 suggestions that come almost on an annual basis, can we implement everything? Maybe no. But sometimes, as an organizational behavior practice, you don't have to necessarily say yes to everything that comes as a suggestion. But if you say no within the prescribed turnaround time, you start gaining respect. I'll leave you with this final particular thought, which is called the work of leaders model. Couple of speakers that I have heard since morning, somebody spoke about purpose, some people spoke about vision, some people spoke about execution. Allow me to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Between vision and execution, the modern day mantra is alignment. If you don't have clarity in what you want to do, if you cannot pass that clarity to your employees, you may build amazing vision at the top level. But if you are not able to translate that to your team members, that vision is not going to succeed. If you don't have an open dialogue concept in your organization, this vision is not going to be executed appropriately. If you don't inspire people, if you don't showcase as leaders that you care, that you are ready to coach them, and more importantly, you are ready to congratulate them, any strategy is destined to fail. My name is Kunal Wadhwani. I'm the CHRO for Choitrams Group. I had this short time with you. I'm more than happy to take any questions that are associated to this particular concept. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.